Hey, what's going on, you guys? Hey, welcome back to another episode with iTrack. Huge shout out to all the iTrack fan, man, tapping in like you always do. And if this happens to be your first time here, what we like to do is take a look at the most interesting and creepy videos from all around the world and kind of evaluate for ourselves whether these are fact or fake. Now let's go ahead and jump right into it.
This is crazy. A former Bush official claims that the United States spent $21 trillion building a secret underground city. Her name is Catherine Austin Fitts, and she formerly served as Bush's Assistant Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. He says that the United States government built this in secret in case of a near extinction event for the rich and powerful. She claims that this isn't just some underground tunnel, but that this is a massive underground city across the United States with over 170 bases. She even says some are under the ocean and that they are all connected with transportation. She started researching this in 2020 and says that on her website, missingmoney.solari.com, you can go and look at the actual government financials and make a decision whether or not this is true for yourself. Now, there have been theories about this for decades, so are we finally getting the proof? As always, let me know what you think about all of this.
I mean, I actually believe it. You know, according to Doge, there's been a lot of money that's been delegated somewhere. So it would make sense that it would be delegated to something like that. But let me know what you think.
Arby's just released their new steak nuggets, and people think that the meat is something that we should not be eating. So apparently, without really announcing it, earlier this week, Arby's started to introduce their new steak nuggets, and people started posting pictures online of what it looked like when you actually buy them, and it does not look good at all. People are honestly questioning, in this economy, is this even steak? Because it does not look that good. And they're wondering, is this some other type of meat that maybe we should not be eating? Now, the person that posted it, people were asking her all kinds of questions if she actually ate it. She said no, she would never eat that. And this person here says, I haven't seen a squirrel in 3 weeks, and all of a sudden, Arby's has steak nuggets. I don't know if people even still eat at Arby's, but if you do, please go try these steak nuggets and report back to me in the comments and let me know if they're worth getting.
Now, I'm going to give them an A for effort on the steak nuggets, right? Because I've never seen steak nuggets on any kind of menu. Let me know if that's going to be on your plate.
Terrifying new developments at Newark's Liberty Airport. ABC News learning air traffic controllers lost radar and communications with planes packed with passengers for 60 to 90 seconds.
They lost 3 radar scopes went black. They lost all the radios at approach.
A system-wide outage last Monday at a Philadelphia facility that manages the airspace around Newark Airport caused controllers to lose the ability to see, hear, or talk to all arriving and departing aircraft at one of the busiest airports in the country. Pilots can be heard learning of the outage over the radio.
I just got told that the approach lost all their radars. 3 of their 4 radar screens went black, and they have no frequencies.
The union representing the controllers releasing a statement saying the controllers then took time off due to, quote, a traumatic event as allowed by federal law.
Pilots can fly the instruments in their cockpit to a safe landing. They also have gear within the cockpit that allows them to know if they're getting close to another airplane. But having no radar, no communication with ATC is an extraordinary event, and it's very dangerous.
It could be weeks before travelers see relief, as the airline industry grapples with an ongoing air traffic controller shortage.
It's going to get worse before it gets better. It's going to take probably 2-3 years before it starts getting better.
The staffing shortages, along with runway construction and bad weather, combining into a perfect storm of travel headaches for some of the tens of millions of passengers who use the airport each year.
Now, that might be some of the more creepier information. That's the last thing you'd want to hear if you're a traveler. Hey, be safe out there, folks.
Most Americans have no idea. This tiny island runs the world's money, and they don't even know it exists. It's called the Cayman Islands. Population? Just over 80,000. But this place controls trillions. How? It's a tax haven, A financial ghost town. No income tax. No capital gains tax. No corporate tax. Nothing. Big corporations, from Apple to Amazon, route money through here. Why? Because the Cayman Islands make it disappear, legally. There are more registered businesses here than people.
All right, here's a quick tip. You know those paper straws that are really good for the environment? Well, the glue that holds it together is extremely toxic. So if you're faced with those straws, you're better off just drinking out of the cup.
I'm a holistic RN, and this is true. Those eco-friendly paper straws are advertised to being better for you and the environment, but they are a lot worse than plastic straws. A study found 90% of paper straws contain forever chemicals, while plastic straws contain 75%. If you like using straws, make sure you get glass or stainless steel. Worried about hidden toxins? Follow me for more.
You guys know Lil Nas X, but did you know his fans have bullied him so bad that his career is completely ruined? Lil Nas X Old Town Road song was one of the biggest songs of all time, and I'm sure you have heard of it. It was #1 on the Billboard charts for months, and it literally had so many memes made because of the song. But once his fame got to his head, his whole career changed for the worse. Starting with him making a song glorifying the devil, him acting like he is pregnant just for clicks and views, him being involved in so many different controversies, it's absolutely insane. You can see all that stuff that he has done is catching up to him in his actual career. Because of now, every time he actually does post a song, he gets 0.001% of the actual viewership that he used to get. And if you just take a moment to look across the internet, you will see a lot of people basically just making fun of him and talking down to him. Like this person said Lil Nas X fell off really hard. Along with that, this person said that Lil Nas X is the definition of literally doing too much.
Yeah. Okay, love you guys. Don't forget to smile.
Well, I think it's our job.
So I live here in the Central Valley, and it was raining a couple minutes ago. Can anyone explain the blue water?
There's just really crazy theory going on right now because Indeed and all these job search websites have thousands of jobs that say they're hiring, but everyone that's applying is not getting hired. And some guy actually did a test where they had hundreds of people fill out applications and no one hired them or even got a call back. And so the running theory is that they're using all people's data and selling it to bigger companies. So when you send all your information in, like your first name, your last name, where you're located, your resume, where you've been, they're taking that information and selling it to bigger companies and holding on to it because right now data is the new gold. And that's kind of scary. What do you think?
Gala this year was a total mess. First off, the iconic red carpet was accidentally blue this year because the manufacturer allegedly made a mistake, but they had no time to fix it before the event actually started. As usual, no one was really on theme, and pretty much every single celebrity unintentionally copied each other. So many of them wore identical outfits to the point where news accounts started making memes about them. People were so desperate to hide their outfits from the public until the event started, so they were being escorted out in literal boxes, which isn't that different from last year when they were being escorted out in body bags. And because influencers were banned from the Met Gala this year, a lot of them decided to sneak in through the back door, like these two random TikTokers who actually ended up making it onto the carpet, but unfortunately security caught them within 5 minutes and they were kicked out. People were criticizing the celebrities' outfits, saying that Demi Moore looked like she was wearing a spare tire on her head, and for some reason Kendall Jenner and Hailey Bieber looked like they were attending a business meeting. Someone AI generated P. Diddy onto the red carpet, but his trial is happening today, so there's no way that this was actually him, but that didn't stop people from AI generating Tate McRae in a MAGA dress.
If 100 men attacked a gorilla, most people would think the gorilla could easily fight them off. But that's not exactly what would happen. A gorilla is about 10 times stronger than a human and has arms that can crush bones with a single swing. So the first few attackers would be seriously injured very quickly. However, an average gorilla weighs around 500 pounds and needs a lot of energy to move, so it would get tired pretty fast.
Oh, Missy Elliott done plenty wrong. Missy Elliott just as dirty as every last one of these she was pandering to and procuring for. Why don't somebody go ask Missy Elliott about why Tweet allegedly tried to unalive herself twice over her? Allegedly. Missy Elliott, the female brain scrambler. They'd send her in to loosen the girls up and tighten them up so they wouldn't complain so much when the dudes came behind, allegedly. Somebody go talk to Music Soul Child baby mom, what's her name, Mila from 702, who was sent to infiltrate Total and break the whole group up. Yeah, that was a Missy Elliott plant. Y'all want to know what happened to Total? Missy Elliott happened to Total. She was good for fucking up bitches' budgets and getting paid to do it, allegedly. Facts. How quiet has she been about what happened to Aaliyah? Put a 1 in the chat if y'all think Missy Elliott was really pressing to get the real goods on what happened to her beloved Aaliyah. She's probably one of the most least supportive of everybody. Oh, she was an angel. You mean?
Just when I thought Jaguar Wright couldn't be any more despicable, Missy Elliott came out of left field. Because you know what? I did forget all about Missy Elliott. I ain't going to lie. So that just is like, dang. Let me know what you think about that, though. The last video, we all played a game of what was going on in that clip. This clip is a lot more clear, and I'm sure you can tell by now that those hands, man, they're gigantic. They're gigantic. If you didn't see it, rewind that one back, because that one is pretty wild.
I watch what you put out on X. You got 32 million followers, so you're one of the most followed people.
See, wait. Now look right now. You're not gonna take inches off my dick, bro. Like, how many followers do I have?
Well, how many is it?
I think you could do the study. You got a whole staff over there.
I thought it was 32 million. How many is it? You obviously know.
Don't help them out. You know they.
I'm told it's 33 million now. So congratulations. You're slightly bigger following than I thought.
No, congratulations. Your information is correct. You're not just some, dude trying to sub. I'm a gift, bro. You know what I mean? Why do all you people in media act like you haven't played my songs at your weddings or graduations or at funerals or when your child was born? You take somebody that's living like a Lennon, a Michael Jackson, and you just take all this time to just like that nuance right there. It's idiotic. It just shows the hate that you put out for people that put love. There's so much love in the art that I put out.
What are you talking about? I haven't said anything.
What are you talking about? It's dirty. Okay, now you're not taking accountability or responsibility.
Literally, you said it. You implied I haven't played your music. Of course I played your music.
No, sir. This is what you get for now. We can circle back when you can count.
Okay.
So y'all really thought that blue Texas water was really a conspiracy? Nah, it's really happening. I seen somebody say that in the comments that people are planting this stuff. Y'all hear the sirens? I saw somebody say in the comments that people are planting this stuff. Like somebody would really go out there planting Smurf juice just for fun. Now look at this over here, a whole puddle of it, y'all. This guy said the next day after it rained. Remember, y'all, the skies of Texas was looking like this, right? And the next day, the Blue Lake.
How much would it take for you to drink that water? How much money?
So this man finds the puddle of blue water the day after it rained. The skies of Texas looking crazy and manifested 9 tornadoes. But it gets even more crazier. Apparently there was this fisherman who drank this water, the blue water, because he liked drinking the water. And he started hallucinating, y'all. Listen to this story.
Raining blue in Texas. Now, some people think it's just a random phenomenon and that it'll pass, but some people have reported some pretty strange things with it. One in particular was a fisherman. He was out on his boat. The rain came down. He gathered some of the rain because he liked to drink some of the rainwater. He drank some of it, and he said he hallucinated for like 9 hours. He said he saw creatures jumping out of the water onto his boat trying to attack him, and he had to go in down on the bed down there and hide for hours, trying to close his eyes and just trying not to see all the hallucinations. Some did report getting super itchy skin from it, but not really like a rash or anything, so...
I don't know what that rainwater is all about, but I have a feeling this is coming from other worlds, y'all. It has to be. Something is merging into our world. But let me know what you guys think about this video. Like, you remember Stranger Things, right? Stranger Things? Let me know what you guys think about this video. Like, follow, and share for more videos like this. Let's continue to get it, y'all. Peace in.
So apparently it's happening in Texas and in California. Now, if you're in Texas and California and you've been seeing this blue rain, let me know. Is it a real thing, or is this just, TikTok cap?
A few days ago, I posted a video about the Kardashians' plastic surgeon, Dr. Garth Fisher. For those of you who were confused in the comments section about what this could possibly mean and who he's tied to, I will explain in the shortest amount of time possible. Dr. Garth Fisher here is an incredibly famous plastic surgeon amongst Hollywood. He performs plastic surgery on some of the most famous celebrities and models. But that's not the interesting thing about Dr. Fisher. The interesting thing about Dr. Fisher is his wife, Sulin Banderos. Sulin Banderos is not just a popular Instagram model. She also was the ex-girlfriend and alleged co-conspirator of Peter Nygard, in which it's alleged that she was receiving plastic surgery, stem cell injections, among many other things, for supplying Peter Nygard with more victims. This is Sulin's Instagram account. I found it very interesting that she still followed Danny Fitzgerald. Well, Danny Fitzgerald is a lot of things. Where do I start? For one, he's a Hollywood real estate agent. He owns many of the houses that you see your favorite content creators living in. And although he's been involved in a lot of lawsuits, yes, even with Lil Nas X, imagine my surprise when I saw that Danny Fitzgerald is also named as an alleged co-conspirator of Peter Nygard. In fact, they go back decades. And in fact, still to this day, Danny Fitzgerald still has questionable photos and videos on his IG, like pageant queens, for example, and many other young models in the industry. He's rented houses out to Mark Zuckerberg, Justin Bieber, and other industries, some being your most favorite Hollywood celebrities and least favorite celebrities. I also find it interesting that he's not only tied to Travis Barker, but also possibly tied to Alabama and Landon, as they are frequented in the TikTok hype houses. And it's also stated in an article that Khloe Kardashian ended up buying the house that Justin Bieber was staying in for $7.2 million because it was just doors away from her sister. And I'm also going to add that it's personally very worrisome to me that Danny Fitzgerald has been seen in videos with Brie Olson.
Why did he leave me money? Because I signed an NDA when I met him, and when he got arrested, they reached out to everybody that had been involved with him.
Because he was allegedly accused of viciously harassing victims who were speaking out about their assaults. So considering what these people have been allegedly involved in, I find it very interesting that they go to such extreme measures to gain protection. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section.
A video today of this man at like a press conference kind of thing, and he was at one point like pretty high ranked, or like made it pretty high up in the Air Force. He was some sort of like electrical engineer, and he was telling this story about 30 years ago. He was brought into this group for NASA. There was something going on with their lunar satellite. It like wasn't receiving. He said he walked into his room and there was scientists from all over the world trying to figure this out. And he's like, this is strange for NASA to have scientists from all over the world trying to figure this out. And then he was debriefed by this one guy, and he said the guy, when he was presenting this stuff, he was like kind of nervous, and he's like, these are pictures that we have from the dark side of the moon.
They have pictures?
Where there is base camp on the dark side of the moon, and he was showing pictures of all these buildings. He said it's top secret. And so like he came out and was like, I've been waiting for them to talk about this news for 30 years and they haven't done it yet, and I hope by me saying this, they'll bring that out.
This is a great one if you want to see MK Ultra technology in action. It's one step beyond the sacred mushroom. Where Puharish,
one step beyond the sacred mushroom.
One step beyond is the show name, and it's the sacred mushroom. It's on YouTube, and it's Puharish is there flashing lights in people's eyes, hypnotizing them to make them psychic. There's a portion, there it is.
Science is not yet given it
right there. Keep going.
So if you don't, it's kind of hard to...
That's the early photic and magnetic stimulator that that MK Ultra was using. Puharish developed to put people in their states. Yeah, it's an American version of the Lita machine from Russia.
Lower your head a little bit. A little more. Now.
Sounds awful. It does. Sounds diabolical.
Now I see it. I see so many things I can't tell you. Can't you slow it? Slow it? Now I see but I see so many colors that are. Go. Are they pretty? In geometric signs, now it's like great things. They're magnificent, is what they are. They're magnificent. I have never been so aware of color.
What is this thing actually doing?
After this, he goes off and does psychic testing on him and finds that he became much more accurate choosing cards. So it's opening up psychic ability. That was the intent, at least. But it's putting him in a hypnotic state. And this is his testing.
If you've been on my channel any length of time, people have always talked about MK Ultra, but you got to see it live here first.
On one side of it, I think we really do have an entire subspecies of creatures that do exist mostly inside the earth, and they are not readily surface dwelling anymore. And I do believe, like in Lake Havasu City, Arizona, man, inside the London Bridge is a massive room, like a throne room, where they engage in this magic. But this Brotherhood of the Serpent, they call upon Nahash, the dragon. And
would that be in normal terms Satan?
Yeah, most people know him as Satan, right? Yeah. But like there is a great red dragon. Like it's a physical, that's what he looks like in reality. He was cursed, and man, he made him a monster. Yahweh made him a monster. And they would commune with these things. There's 13 grandfathers take 13 of their grandsons, and they bring them into these rooms and do these things on these specific times and rituals for all kinds of stuff. But the dragons tell them the future. This is like always what they've been able to do. Is Satan leads Yeshua up onto a great high place and says, I shows them all the nations of the earth and all their kingdoms and their reigns in a moment of time. He shows them the future. That's what they do. They can show you what's to come. This is why we get hunted by them. He knows if we're going to be part of his adversaries. He knows if we're going to be on his enemy list. And that's why he targets us at our youth. That's what so happens. So many people, they're like, why has my life been a nightmare from the beginning? It's because you have a purpose and a destiny that adversary absolutely categorically does not want to come to pass. It's a real life Terminator scenario. And so he sends his assets in to destroy people, to ruin their life. And those meeting places happen when they sit down in these rooms and they try to call up these creatures. It's from inside the earth. It wasn't like ethereal mist. They were physical things that would come out of these tunnels, and they would come into the room and they would consume the offerings that were given there. And then the words of the Nahash would come forth, and they would prophesy to these guys. Like they would prophesy out of the mouth of the serpent what each one of their life callings, their shots. He's the shot caller, man. It's like a pimp from prison. He's calling the shots, and you had a bunch of fallen watchers that were in prison in Tartarus for a reason. Yeah, but they got ways of getting messages out, just like the cronies in jail today, you know. And that's what a lot of people are dealing with. They think they're dealing with the top dog, and they're like, I'm finally into the big game. And it's like you're dealing with, you know, a private in the hierarchy, but he can masquerade like a general. And so some people are really dealing with death himself, and some of them are dealing with one of his princes. And this is what my family's covenant was with the dragon. They didn't mess around, man. They went all the way to the chain of command. They uncovered a bunch of my great-grandfather's grandfather was an archaeologist who dug into the Indian mounds out in the Ohio River Valley. And they started finding a priest class that was these serpent worshipers. And that's what they started calling upon. And they started trying to wake up and rise up Huachiblos, which is these deities, these dragon fire deities.
This is the Motherland Call statue in Russia. Allegedly, it was built between 1963 and 1967 to memorialize or remember the fallen Russian soldiers in the Battle of Stalingrad in World War II. Now, I don't think we actually built this, or they built it in 1963. I think this statue is a remnant of the Tartarian civilization that they don't teach about in the history books. They hide that history, and they don't want you to know because it has implications that would shake a lot of people. So look at this statue. This right here is an Attack on Titan size statue. Look at this lady. And this is constructed out of concrete. She's holding a sword, which is metal, but this is concrete. According to the fake information on Wikipedia, the way they built this was they created a metal cast from scratch, the same shape and size of the statue, and they poured concrete into the cast to make this perfect statue back in 1963. Okay, that's cap, guys. That's cap. And they're saying that this statue is 290 feet tall. From the base of her feet to the tip of the sword. And if you look at these people next to this statue, you can tell this is bigger than a football field. A football field is about 360 feet, roughly. Look at the size of this lady. Do you really think they built that in 1963? It's cap. Look at those people down there. Can you see those people? They're trying to tell us that that is the size of a football field. Look at those specks, those people down there. Just look at that lady's arm. That looks like a real arm. You mean to tell me they made a metal cast and poured concrete into it to create that arm? Look at that hand. Look at those fingers. This is a Tartarian statue. And who knows who this lady really was in the Tartarian civilization? Who knows who this lady is or what she represents for real?
My brother was on the SWAT team for a long time, and he warned me about the screws inside of your doors are real small, the ones that come from the factory. And he said the doors that were near impossible to...
Yeah, he went ahead and dropped them gems on you, man. I like that.
I was ashamed of myself when I realized life was a costume party, and I attended with my real face. I thought I was doing the right thing, being honest, being myself, just showing up as I am. But that's not how the world works, is it? People don't want truth or depth. They want comfort and ease. They don't want to think too hard or feel too much. They want simple conversations, simple answers, simple people. They wear smiles that mean nothing. They nod at things they don't believe. They laugh at jokes they don't find funny just to stay part of the crowd. So when you show up with your real face, you become a problem. They won't say it. They'll just look away a little quicker, laugh a little too loud when you speak, leave you out of the next thing. And you start to wonder, was it really courage to be myself? Or just a mistake? Because the room is full of people wearing masks. And when you're the only one without one, you don't look honest. You look exposed.
Megan Thee Stallion has been permanently banned from attending the Met Gala ever again because she decided to break one of their most important rules. You see, you're not allowed to bring your phone inside the venue whatsoever. I mean, sometimes celebrities will sneak photos in the bathroom, but you're really not supposed to show the inside of the venue or what the dinner table looks like. However, within 1 hour of the gala starting, Megan started posting videos onto her Instagram, trying all of the food that was available, and started going up to random celebrities, telling them to say hi to her vlog.
We are trying food at the Met. Cornbread with caviar. Wait, let me have it. Cornbread and caviar. I like it. I said it was good.
But the craziest part is she admitted to breaking the rules. She knew that this wasn't allowed.
We're not supposed to have our phone.
Not at all. Really not. Put your phone away. No, we're doing it.
Oh, I snuck the phone inside. Cheese. I snuck my phone. I took the tape off. Oh my God.
Okay.
And now people are saying that Anna Wintour found out about this and was extremely upset and has thus blacklisted Megan Thee Stallion from ever returning to the Met Gala.
Do you think they're still doing this stuff today?
Oh shit, yes. They're just more sophisticated by it.
What do you think it looks like today? What do you think? What kind of stuff what kind of tools do you think they're using today?
TikTok and Instagram.
Yeah.
I don't even think
you're right.
The new MK Ultras, TikTok and Instagram. I think we all kind of knew a little bit, but yeah, sounds about right.
Did you see the false prophet? Well, he was right in the middle of Jerusalem today. And that's next on the trumpet. So the guy, a false prophet, goes inside the Church of the Holy Sepulchre and says that fire came from God and lit 2 candles. And then he goes out and lights everybody's candles for the whole Church of the Holy Sepulchre. Those are not just candles. It's supposed to look like a pit of fire. It's like that. Right there. This is what the book of Revelation says about the false prophet. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. They check the prophet before he goes in there, and somehow every year, these candles just light on fire. Magically. The miraculous fire that descends from heaven is called the miracle of the holy fire in the Church of the Holy Sepulchre right there in Jerusalem. Come on, you know I'm going to take you there. It's right in the middle of Jerusalem. We're going to scroll down to the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. It's right there. You zoom in. It's going to be those dots that come in right there. You touch it. And it goes in. And this is the craziest thing because they think that Jesus went into the tomb there. And they never show him coming out of the tomb. Here he is coming off of the cross right there. And then it shows him being prepared right here for the tomb. And then it shows him going into the tomb right there. The whole wall is a mural that goes across and tells a story, and it's missing the best part, where the stone is rolled away and the resurrection of Jesus Christ. And if you join me live tonight, I'll show you exactly where that used to be, the tomb of David. Join us live tonight. We're going to come on probably around 8 o'clock. I got a lot of pictures and stuff I got to show you. And you know me and my family love you, so like and follow the trumpet for more. And in Jesus' name, have a blessed day.
We believe that Mr. Robinson is a serial and sick rapist that must be stopped.
Attorney John Harris revealing the accusations against Motown legend Smokey Robinson.
I will not describe the details of the sexual assaults and because they're too graphic and disturbing for this news conference.
All 4 of Robinson's alleged victims have chosen to remain unnamed and are referred to as Jane Doe in the complaint.
Our 4 clients have a common thread. They're Hispanic women who were employed as housekeepers by the Robinsons, earning below minimum wage.
The accusations against the music legend include sexual assault, sexual battery, false imprisonment, gender violence, and creating a hostile work environment.
We're seeking damages of $50 million.
The complaint also claiming one of the Jane Does was first sexually assaulted in 2007 and that these acts continued until she resigned in 2024. According to the complaint, Robinson's former housekeeper claims in the lawsuit that she was sexually assaulted not even 2 months after she started cleaning the couple's Los Angeles mansion.
Dang, not Smokey Robinson. That was out of left field.
This stuff is so deep, and each area is interconnected to another. Look who's not invited. Look who's not invited. Traditionalists, faith-based leaders, working class heroes, veterans. Nope. This party ain't for those folks. The people who built the country. It's for those who are building something else, something darker. You think I'm exaggerating? And notice how the media fawn over it. They'll tell you it's empowering and it's inspiring and revolutionary, but they'll never question who funds it, or what it promotes, or why the same imagery pops up in elite circles from Davos to Hollywood. They're in on it. If you know, you know. This is a very important moment. I want you to listen. This is a warning. The Met Gala isn't the end of the world, but it's a symptom of something sick in the culture. A hyper-stylized distraction that reveals the rot in our institutions and the consolidation of spiritual and financial power. It's not a costume party. It's not cosplay. It's a message to the rest of the world. We own this world. But here's the thing.
Diddy's NDA with Jonathan Oddie was just exposed. I'm sure you guys remember Jonathan Oddie, the man who was arrested in 2018 for acting crazy in the Trump Hotel. And then we all saw that bombshell interview of him saying that he had physical relationships with Diddy and Cassie Ventura. In this interview, Jonathan Oddie claimed that he was like a slave for Diddy, and he said that he caught an STD from Diddy, and then they would have a settlement where he allegedly got $50 million, and then he had to sign an NDA. And well, now that NDA has just been leaked to the media. Jonathan Oddie's wife, who he was with when he allegedly had this relationship with Diddy and Cassie Ventura, has now sat down with the media and gave a whole interview about it, and also dropped the NDA between Jonathan Oddie and Diddy back in 2014. And when I tell you I have chills from everything, because this man said a lot. He said stuff about Donald Trump and Diddy and so much in this interview, but now to actually see this NDA in real time is insane. As you can see, it was a confidentiality settlement agreement back on July 9th of 2014 between Jonathan Oddie and Sean Combs. During Jonathan Oddie's interview, he had a lot to say, and he even talked about Diddy's former lawyer, Mark Garagos, who we know just got called out recently in Diddy's trial. Yesterday, Mark Garagos was just called out by the judge for giving information on his podcast with TMZ's creator Harvey Levin. We can't forget that Mark Garagos' daughter, Kenny Garagos, is the one that is representing Diddy right now in his criminal trial. Jonathan Oddie even
I know how much it costs to take a record top 40, and it doesn't have to be a good record. And if I have the money, I could take any single record I want and put it in the top 40. Today. It costs a certain amount, but you have to hire indies, and you got to pay them, and they'll get your record into the top 40.
How much does that cost?
cost? For urban mainstream, $50,000. Okay. Your record's in the top 40. Another $25,000, you're getting into the top 20. Now it comes down to research. Now the record has to be good enough for it to continue moving up the chart.
Now this will make a bit more sense as to why Drake would sue the record label, because if 50K is all it takes, not too much talent in that.
The Earth is set up to be a farm that generates human suffering, which disembodied vampiric entities feed on. Robert Monroe was a scientist whose studies on out-of-body experiences were so significant that he was eventually recruited by the CIA. Through his experiments, he documented what could only be described as inorganic entities who have literally set up the Earth as a garden to farm massive amounts of loosh, energy generated from humans through conflict. According to Monroe, these beings use special, quote, collectors and set up channels to convey loosh to, quote, somewhere. He describes how these collectors intentionally generate storms of turbulence and turmoil to collect more and more loosh. These claims are corroborated by Max Spears, who also described inorganic vampiric entities that are literally addicted to this loosh, particularly those emanated from, disturbingly, young children. He likens these entities to black holes, constantly feeding off human energy. Spears died mysteriously not long after publicizing this. In Carlos Castaneda's work, Shaman Don Juan describes these exact same inorganic beings, and how some sorcerers in the past would deliberately introduce pain and fear into others in order to feed and thus work with these entities. John Lash, in Not in His Image, also describes a race of inorganic beings, or archons, aka demons or jinn, that have manipulated people into convincing them that suffering is a righteous cause for those who inflict it. Could it be that the Earth and its major dramas are literally designed to accumulate massive amounts of conflict and negative energy, which feed higher dimensional parasitic entities? Follow me for more hidden knowledge.
In the process of looking at where all this money is going is the underground base and city infrastructure and transportation system that's been built. And
I'm sorry?
Yes. So we have built an extraordinary number of underground bases and supposedly transportation systems. Some of these are some of these are documented as part of the national security infrastructure. I think there are many more. So,
in the United States?
In the United States, on all over the world. But, from 2021 to 2023, I took one of the smartest subscribers in the Saleer Report network, and he and I spent 2 years collecting all the data and all the allegations on underground bases. And then we systematically went through and tried to estimate our guess. This is totally a guess of how many underground bases, both underground in the United States, but also underground under the ocean around the United States. And our estimate was 170 with a transportation network connecting them.
And what would be the purpose?
The purpose, if you thought you were going to get a near extinction event, so there, to me, there are two purposes. You have so many activities going on that you need to keep secret, that you're basically building the capacity to, for example, if you're doing a secret space program, you need to platform it from, things that can't be seen. But I think if you're worried about a near extinction event, that's.
So I know nothing about this other than my only window into it. I knew a contractor who worked on one in Washington, in the city of Washington, D.C. Right. And I remember him telling me about a power box, like a transformer box on Constitution Avenue that he told me, because he worked on it personally, was actually the exit, the egress from the White House. That was kind of by vehicle. I thought that was, I was like, really? He goes, oh yeah, no, I installed it. I know. And I thought, well, that's kind of crazy that in the middle of this big city where I was on Constitution Avenue every day, that you could build something like that without me knowing it. Under the VP's house at the Naval Observatory, same thing.
Well, you guys, hey, that's another one of the books, man. I appreciate you guys for stopping by it again and watching another one with me. If you haven't already, smash that like button for me, smash that subscribe button, and join the iTrack fam, man. Stay up to date with the latest, greatest, interesting, and creepy videos from all around the internet, man. And I will definitely catch you on the next one.